Okay, can everyone hear me? Let's see. Okay, perfect. Looks like YouTube is having some issues here. Okay. Alright. It seems like YouTube is down. Hopefully the stream is working here. I mean, it seems to be working. If anyone was able to get through. Yep. A lot of problems with the video streaming part of YouTube right now. So there's a lot of people who are reporting outages. So my stream is going through though, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, no, YouTube is down. I don't know if this stream is gonna work. Yeah, guys. Okay, let me just pause the stream here for now until the YouTube stream is back. Oh, no. Wait a second. Try to see on my phone if it's coming back, and it seems like slowly coming back. Okay, I think we're back. Can everyone hear me? If anyone is here, please let me know if you guys can hear me. You guys can hear? Alright, perfect. Okay, I see some reactions. Yeah, do whatever you guys can do to tell me that you guys can hear me. Yeah, it seems like YouTube was down for about, wow, I think that was like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Hey, thank you guys, thank you. Just leave a like down below or something. Yeah, it seems like there's a widespread here. Yeah, I think we're good. Hopefully. Are we good? Or not? Okay, we're good, we're back. Alright, so I just want to do a quick live stream here and talk about Soluna Holdings, right? Ticker symbol SLNH. Because this one has been getting some traction here, and usually I don't tend to look at these micro cap penny stock companies. Okay, take a look at the market cap here. It's 275 million, and this is just from the recent rise, right? This is a lot lower a couple days ago or just last week. So when it comes to SL and the fact that well, just look at the monthly chart, guys. Just look at the entirety of SLNH, and this is something that you don't really want to be trading. Right? Looks like this one has been doing reverse stock splits until, yeah, I mean, look at this. This is something that you don't want to be looking at, right? However, they are starting to have some sort of traction with the overall aienergy momentum investors, traders, whatever you guys want to call it, okay, or just people just taking the opportunity to go with the money rotation that's currently happening with you know, the money flows are touching every single group and sector that is being affected by AI, or they're directly a part of the AI infrastructure. And Soluna Holdings turns out to be one of the companies that are pivoting towards that AI infrastructure, specifically in the energy industry and overall energy, becoming an energy resource for AI. So let me give you guys a quick kind of a rundown as to what Soluna does. Okay, so first of all, Soluna is a company. They're a data center company, right? There's a plethora of them out there right now. There's you know, TeraWolf. There is CleanSpark, right? All these bigger or more, I guess, popular data center companies that are starting to pivot towards becoming, oh well, they're crypto miners first of all, right? They have this modular system that can be used by AI companies that are needing data centers, right? And so they're easily being able to convert their power to be of use towards the power and the data usage that AI data centers need, essentially, right? And all these AI hyperscalers need. So SLNH is just one of the many out there that are running these data centers. And Soluna Holdings specifically, they're using, well, green energy, right? There's a lot of emphasis on using green alternative energy like solar, wind, and hydro, and whatever else type of energy that is not based off of dirty energy like coal, natural gas, you know, oil, right? And crude oil, right? So, you know, this is basically kind of the quote-unquote future of where AI could be harnessing their power from, which again, they need loads and loads of power and capacity for all the data churning that they have to do, right? And so, and even just data storage takes up a lot of energy as well. So that's the reason why we've been seeing kind of this AI energy bottleneck that's been happening, where money is starting to focus a lot more into nuclear, because, you know, people think that, you know, since nuclear is quote-unquote a cleaner type of energy source, which it really isn't. I don't know why people continue to perpetuate that idea that nuclear is cleaner, because again, nuclear energy has one specific problem, right? And that is radioactive waste. And we still have not yet figured out a solution for radioactive waste. And we just continue to bury and just literally just dig big holes and just put those radioactive waste underneath the ground. And there are a plethora of problems, like for example, radioactive waste that could leak into groundwater sources, right? And you know, groundwater resources are very essential for us humans to have, well, water. And if those clean reservoirs of underground water is affected by, well, essentially poisoned by radioactive waste due to it spilling out and just radiating out underneath us as time goes by, it's not good, right? And there are a lot of other solutions, well, quote unquote solutions that have been proposed, but they're just not feasible or not ideal, right? And so, you know, trying to focus on nuclear and you know, uranium enrichment and stuff like that, it's just overall a dangerous process, and also it's not a clean energy resource, okay? And so I think this money of rotating into nuclear is most likely going to rotate into the other side, which is solar, which again, we've been seeing a lot of great strength in the solar group as well. You guys should know this if you guys follow me, if you guys are in the CFO Stream Watch report, if you guys are in the private CFO Discord as well, right? We've been looking at First Solar, we've been looking at Generac, we've been looking at ticker symbol NXT, right? Ticker symbol ENPH, Enphase, right? Ticker symbol RUN, Sunrun, okay? And so, you know, the entire solar group has been running due to the fact that we're probably gonna need a lot more solar panels and just overall you know, solar farming that's gonna be needed to power these AI data centers. So essentially, when we're talking about you know, these quote unquote green data centers, that's what Soluna is trying to focus on, right? They're trying to make sure that renewable energy and just overall the electricity that is made from green energy or from these renewable energy sources are not being wasted, right? And they want to make sure every single quote unquote drop of green electricity is going to be used towards towards something, right? They want to make sure that it's being used for something that is useful for society. And for example, well, these AI data centers, these hyperscalers need to use a lot of electricity. And so they're trying to make sure that all these hyperscaler data computations, right, get every single drop of green energy, and it's not just being wasted or just being given off as heat energy or whatever it is, right, due to the very, very outdated grid that we currently have right now. And so I think Soluna is trying to just figure out solutions for that, right? So now the company itself though, okay, is still kind of in its early innings of trying to pivot towards that that data center type of business, because again, they're just still mainly doing Bitcoin mining, just like with every other data center. And again, they are able to easily pivot and shift their modular systems and you know, mining systems that they currently have towards these to become AI data centers that these big hyperscalers need, right? So that's the reason why we've been seeing some very good partnerships and collaborations coming out with, you know, with, for example, TeraWolf with Google, okay? And I believe there can be a lot more of these Bitcoin miners and just overall crypto mining companies that will pivot or at least come up with a more hybrid business model, as I've been talking about as well. For example, with Bitdeer, that's a Singaporean-based crypto miner that has really just adjusted towards the hybrid model of business, where they're acting as an AI data center in the Southeast Asian market, and they're also still being used as crypto miners, right? So again, this Soluna company, this Soluna Holdings Incorporated, is still a major Bitcoin mining company, and since they're not trying to pivot towards that AI data center hybrid model, they're really starting to host, you know, the AI hyperscaler. So let me remind myself what it's called. I think it's called HPC, right? So high performance computing, right? They're hosting the space that they have left towards the AI high performance computing, or HPC, that is needed by AI workloads, right? And so all the space and energy and power and networks that are not being used, maybe because, for example, when Bitcoin prices come back down, they're not going to be mining as much, right? And so these crypto miners are just literally wasting money and wasting energy and electricity. And so if they want to be truly a green data center, Soluna is trying to, again, just like with every other data center company, or excuse me, data center and crypto mining company out there, they're trying to move some of their resources into hosting the high performance computing for these AI workloads, right? So again, they have these modular centers, these data centers. Well, they could be converted into data centers, and so these modular, scalable miners that they have built can be easily converted towards being data centers, right? And again, these mining centers are already, these modular mining centers are already connected to renewable energy sources, and so all they need to do is, well, build more, right? But again, that sounds very, very easy, right, to say. However, it's a very, very high input cost operation in order to even just connect to more renewable energy resources, right? So again, this is a very high risk, highly rewarding type of pivot that these crypto mining companies are trying to do, which is the reason why they're focusing outward and looking for outward resources of money. And that's the reason why they're collaborating with larger companies like Google, other big companies like nvda, right? So all the key pivotal leading companies in the AI revolution is starting to really focus on these smaller companies that already have an idea of how to build these modular systems that are needed for HPC, or high computing or high performance computing for AI workloads. So again, the bigger companies, it's basically like a very symbiotic environment or relationship with these bigger companies, big tech companies that are focusing on trying to get more computational power for AI workloads or whatever, to build large language models, right, LLMs, or just their own in-house AI platforms, whatever it is, right? They just need the data centers, they need the computing power, and they're now looking towards these smaller crypto mining companies that essentially they really need these bigger companies to work with them, because again, they don't have enough. They're not doing enough, right? They're wasting energy, and the best that they can do to start out to build out this hybrid model for their business is to host high performance computing, right? They can lease the space, the power, and the overall optical networks that they already have built towards these bigger leading companies that need the space and power, right? So again, these companies like Soluna here, they just need to focus on building these modular data centers for the bigger companies near energy resources, for example, like solar farms or wind farms, in order for them to really lower their cost. Because again, the overall grid system just in the US alone is very outdated, and it needs an overall upgrade. And it's not like these smaller companies have the overall power, first of all, from company perspective, right, and overall financial power to even do that, right? So they just need to look for these alternative farms and wind farms in order to really save money, right? And need to build very close to those farms. And again, that in itself is also a highly expensive process to do. So again, what is my point there? It's a high risk, potentially highly rewarding play for all of these crypto mining companies that are trying to pivot towards this hybrid model, or some of these companies are just trying to completely pivot into an AI data center business, and they're looking outwards to collabing with these bigger tech companies that are trying to be a leader in this AI revolution, right? So Soluna Holdings, again, this is gaining momentum because of the fact that we're starting to see more companies and more of the money flowing towards the cleaner energy resources and cleaner renewable electricity. And you know, when it comes to nuclear, again, I think the realization is going to be very, very soon that, well, hopefully the realization is going to come soon. That's my personal belief and notion, but I think hopefully, again, that people will realize that nuclear isn't really a viable option when it comes to being identified as a renewable energy. Again, the radioactive waste. We're going to need a lot of power, and yes, nuclear can be a very good alternative energy compared to the coal, natural gas, and oil that we currently have. It sounds great, but the more nuclear energy output that we have, the more radioactive waste that we will have as well, and we're not going to be able to do anything with the radioactive waste, right? So, you know, as the money flows from nuclear energy towards these data centers that are focusing more on actual renewable green energy, I think we can see SLNH becoming a very good one of those upfront winners in that specific space. Okay, so now I also want to go over kind of how they're currently making money, because their revenue growth has been pretty stable so far in this year alone. I think they've had an 80% growth in their revenue just in the past quarterly earnings report here. I believe that's what I read. Yeah, so they didn't meet the estimates here, but they did have a nice 80% growth since the last year or so, year over year, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm mistaken, my apologies. But overall, they're seeing some sort of revenue growth, okay? And so overall, again, Soluna Holdings is still making most of their money through crypto mining, right? They're doing mining operations, which again, take a lot of power, but those modular systems that they built already can be easily converted towards the high performance computing that these AI hyperscalers need, right? So again, their business is basically can be summarized. Their business operations can be summarized by half of their business comes from mining, and half of the other type of business comes from making these contracts with these hosting contracts for bigger tech and AI companies that are out there, right? So again, you know, they're trying to essentially become a hybrid energy company, but at the same time, again, as I told you guys initially, Soluna is also focusing specifically on not wasting energy. So if they're able to really just harness every single drop of electricity that is being generated by solar farms and wind farms, they can actually start to even, I believe they can also try to, oh, what is this? Why am I getting an AI ad? I shouldn't be getting an ad right now. What the heck? One second, guys. There we go. There we go. Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, okay, if they're able to harness every single drop of green electricity that's been generated by solar farms, wind farms, and hydro farm and hydroelectric dams, right? They can actually try to offer the amount of electricity that they've harnessed towards other things, right? They can most likely try to even have a commercial aspect to providing energy to people out there, which is a very, very futuristic and far out possibility, but again, they need to first of all prove that they're able to harness every single drop of energy and electricity that is being produced by these solar and wind farms that are out there, right? So it's a very high risk, potentially highly rewarding play that Soluna is trying here, and I think this is the reason why we've been seeing a lot of volume coming into this name the past 2 weeks, including this week, right? And this one was, well, this stock was at just a couple of cents 3 weeks ago, but now it's at $4.31 post market here, after I was trading here, right? So, I think most definitely this overall momentum that we're seeing with SLNH can try to at least drive the prices back up higher towards the previous pivot high points. And now let's kind of pivot towards the technical analysis aspect here, because again, there really isn't much to look at from a technical perspective as well. But if we're focusing on the price action for the last 2 years, there is something to work off of, as seen here on the monthly time frame that I'm giving you guys here, right? I've already given you guys this this technical analysis here, but there are 3 pretty key levels here, significant levels. So first of all, we have this $2.25 support level here on a monthly perspective, okay, and then the major resistance level sitting at $5 here. And if this overall current momentum and this overall retail hype that is currently squeezing out the shorts out of this name, and again, there's a lot of supply overhead, and so this overall 2-week price action so far, or I guess a week and a half price action so far, has been squeezing out a lot of the shorts that have been piling on top of this name since since the double digits here, actually. Right? I mean, look at these massive red candlesticks here, right? And so if you're able to retest $5 and eventually break over 5, there is that kind of short squeeze possibility where we can at least retest $10, which is the reason why I've titled this stream as the next AI energy play that can get to $10, right? And that's simply the reason why I think the overall hype behind the idea of what Soluna is doing can squeeze the shorts here towards that $10 profit target, which is the maximum and ideal profit target. But from a more realistic perspective, personally for me, if we are able to break over $5, okay, then there could be a very quick retest of this very long massive descending resistance trend line that's seen right here. Okay, and I don't know what it's going to take for the company to try to come back to $7 and $7.70. So this is kind of the range that I set for myself for our more of a realistic short squeeze profit target. But overall, I think as long as this company is able to prove to the current investors and to prove to all the retail investors that have piled into this name from last week and including this week, I think there is a nice possibility at the very least to retest $5 and at the very least retest $7 or $7.70, or at the very least, again, the $7 whole number resistance level also coincides with this descending resistance trend line on the monthly time frame. Again, we have to take a look at this from a monthly perspective because of the fact that we don't really have much to work off of from the daily or even the weekly, and we just need to focus on the longer term perspective, since it seems like, again, based on what I've just said so far for this company, the retail side of the buyers here, I'm just gonna say retail, I don't know about institutional buying just yet, but the retail buyers here are most definitely looking to focus on the longer term perspective on this company and what they're doing regarding, for example, again, where they're trying to focus on harnessing every single drop of electricity that is curated and generated by these green energy sources like solar farms and wind farms and hydroelectric dams, okay? And if they are successful, then there can be a huge turnaround for the share prices for this company. And again, the overall valuation of this company can skyrocket as well. And again, this is kind of what everyone is betting on. So please take my words lightly. Again, there's been a complete throw of money everywhere when it's regarding small or even micro cap companies like Soluna Holdings, ticker symbol SLNH. People are just throwing their money into these high risk, potentially highly rewarding companies as they're looking to see what specific crypto mining company can successfully into a more AI data center company, or at the very least be able to successfully convert their entire business operation to become more of that hybrid model, that overall hybrid model that I've been talking about ever since we've took a look at even CleanSpark, ticker symbol CLSK, or even more recently BTDR or BitDeer, right? Ticker symbol BTDR, right? BitDeer. Okay, so again, SLNH, it's just one of the many crypto mining companies out there that are being treated as a new potential AI data center play that could have down the line, I don't know if it's a few weeks out, a few months out, or even a few years out, that could have more collaborations and more partnerships with bigger tech companies that need this overall modular data centers for their AI workloads. Okay, so again, I think SLNH has the overall infrastructure to allow these hosting contracts to be made with bigger companies, because again, when it comes to hosting, what they're basically doing, guys, is just any GPUs that are available for these bigger tech companies to use, they can host it. These smaller companies can't host it because, again, a lot of these companies don't use their full capacity of the miners that they've made, right? And they're basically just GPU semiconductors, right? And if they're able to rent, or quote unquote rent it out, or host it to these bigger tech companies, then they can potentially generate a lot more revenue to build bigger modular data centers for more and more tech companies that are really focusing on building out these AI models and LLMs and whatever they need to do regarding AI at this point, right? Whatever it is, okay? So, you know, I think, specifically, I think SLNH, most recently though, I think they have made a contract, a hosting contract specifically. Let me see here, with HPE. Okay, there it is. Yeah, so they have made a hosting contract with HPE, Hewlett Packard Enterprise, right? If you guys don't know what this company is, you guys should check it out. So HPE has been focusing on data centers as well, and it seems like they have made a pretty good hosting contract that involves it looks like a mix of hosting GPUs and cloud services with SLNH. Okay, so these two are another kind of duo that is potentially making waves, just like the other duo that I just talked about earlier in the stream with Google and TeraWulf, right? Ticker symbol GOOGL and ticker symbol WULF. Okay, so again, this is just yet another micro cap or small cap crypto mining company that is trying to become a more data center-esque company. And they do have a working contract, a hosting contract with ticker symbol HPE or Hewlett Packard Enterprise. So that is pretty interesting to see. But we'll have to see if they even deliver on that, if they're able to maybe even expand on this potential collaboration that could really work out well for them, or maybe it doesn't work out well for them. Who knows? Again, this is just a very high risk, potentially highly rewarding play for investors and for the company that is really focusing on the very far out future to work out for them. And again, the overall share price and the overall share price history doesn't really bode well for them either. But again, They had a bunch of stock reversal stock splits, RSS, so that doesn't look too good, right? It seems like they're just trying to not be delisted. But if this turnaround works, if this overall pivot towards these AI data centers works for all of these, not just SLNH, for all of these crypto mining companies, just maybe they can be saved in the next 3 to 5 years, and just maybe they can have enough cash runaway for their businesses to continue to operate for the next 3 to 5 years. Okay, so again, please be careful trying to play these companies. All right, the overall retail hype is there, but hype alone is not going to fix whatever problems each and individual crypto mining, small cap, micro cap, whatever you guys want to call it, companies that are out there. Okay, so do your due diligence. Okay, and sometimes with this current market landscape, it's better to just buy as quickly as possible and then do the research later. At this point, that's where we're at now with this current market cycle. That's how euphoric the market is getting. Okay, all right, so yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I think Soluna Holdings, as long as they can see, well, the company has to see, even just the initial investors in this company, they have to see that the retail hype is starting to really affect this company. So if they're able to use this hype to fiscally make good and responsible choices for the company, and they start to really use this overall contract and collaboration that they currently have with HP as well to spread out and find more revenue opportunities and just continue to try to grow their revenue, which they have done so far this year alone, I think this company can have real earnings and just overall potential growth in their group, in this industry, in this specific industry. Okay, all right, so yeah, that's kind of my reasons as to why SLNH could be or should be in your watch list in the next couple of weeks, maybe into the next year, or maybe in the next few years, who knows. But overall, from a technical perspective, it doesn't look good. But then again, we're talking about the retail hype, the potential short squeeze. Okay, so again, my realistic targets, if we're able to break over this $5 resistance level on a monthly perspective, okay, this is a multi-year resistance level, then and only then can we retest the realistic max target that I have set for this stock at $7.70 or a range, a supply range between $7 and $7.70. Okay, and again, this range also coincides with this multi-year macro descending resistance trendline. All right, so please be careful. And oh, that's right, this stock does not have options available to trade. So if you guys are just gonna grab equity, don't try to put all of your cash into this one single stock. Okay, I would not recommend that. All right, try to diversify. If you're focusing on crypto miners that are pivoting towards becoming these hybrid AI data centers, that's fine. All right, but try not to just pour all of your money into this single position just because of what I just said today, right? Just because of the fact that maybe this company could be doing something revolutionary when it comes to energy harnessing, specifically renewable energy harnessing, and trying not to really waste the electricity that is being made from these renewable energy sources. Okay, or the fact that maybe, just maybe, we can see this money outflow from nuclear and into more the companies that are focusing on solar, wind, and hydro electricity for their resources to power their AI data centers or their crypto mining modular centers, right? Okay. All right, so that is it for tonight, guys. Hopefully you guys are able to enjoy the information that I'm giving you guys. At the very least, if you guys are not going to use it, well, at the very least, hopefully you guys are able to find this information enjoyable, and if it's applicable, well, that's great, right? If you guys are looking to use the overall data that I've given you guys in this company and the overall technical analysis that I've given you guys in this company, And if you guys decide to open up a position tomorrow because of my analysis, well, hopefully it works out great for you guys. Okay, but I really want to do a very quick stream here about SLNH that has been getting a lot of attention, garnering a lot of retail hype and potentially institutional hype. I don't know if I've seen that just yet, but maybe the overall volume from last week and this week could be a telltale sign of that, but I'm not seeing it just yet. Okay, again, this company has a lot of proving to do. Okay, all right, so that is it for tonight. Hopefully I'll see you guys next week on Monday at around 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're gonna go right back to the regular schedule for my live streams. Okay, have a great rest of your night and good luck tomorrow.